Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the P2 series astromech prototype. This was an Industrial Automation's first astromech droid prototype for the R series, using a rounded body design that would later prove popular with the R2 series astromech droids. Looking at this, now starting cost is listed here at being about 2,500 to 3,000 credits. And height actually has this fairly tall at 2.2 meters. I guess we'll have to see what D6 has for the stats here, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty similar. All right, characteristics. The P2 units were prototype astromech droids standing about 2.2 meters tall. They were equipped with three-wheeled legs, a rotating head dome, three retractable manipulator arms, a heavy grasper arm, a buzz saw, and a laser welder. Inside an armored housing, the P2s had a primitive version of the Intellix ship configuration computer, making them capable of maintenance, making them uh, capable maintenance units on board starships such as bulk cruisers and container ships. All right, the droids were large, cumbersome, clumsy, sluggish, and slow to learn. They could only communicate through the use of the video display screen or by linking to a computer. Despite the drawbacks, many of the features included in the P2 series later became common in the astromechs in the Industrial Automation's R series. History wise, as a prototype, Industrial Automation sold the P2s on a trial basis exclusively to the Old Republic's shipping fleet. Although the P2s had their issues, they proved popular with captains of the ships they were stationed on. Industrial Automation was in the process of finalizing plans to make the P2 series publicly available when the company ran into trouble. Hit with a technol- uh, with a technologically infringement lawsuit, Industrial Automation was forced to halt all their plans. Although the case was eventually dropped, the damage was done. The legal delays and bad publicity around the case killed the P2 line and forced Industrial Automation to start over. Industrial Automation designed a replacement model, the R1 unit, by recycling the shells of the existing Mark II reactor drones to save costs that had been incurred by the company's legal battles. Behind the scenes, the P2's first appearance in the role playing game was a supplement of Black Ice. Artist was Bob Dvorak, based on his illustration on early Ralph McQuarrie's concept art of R2D2. So, uh, kind of looking at this, it is a fun design and the very start of what we get for our standard astromech droid as we look at them through the Star Wars lore. So let's look and see what we have from Star Wars as the role playing game where this all originated. All right, so looking at the astromech prototype itself, we do have a dexterity, knowledge, and mechanical all at 1D. So these are very low hanging stats as far as the droid goes. But seeing that it is an early prototype, it does make a lot of sense. Remember, our standard or galactic standard is a 2D for characters in that. So space transport for mechanical, in other words, in order to fix them, it does have a 2D skill. So it's not the best. It's pretty much just your standard. Perception is 1D, although a search is 2D. Strength is 2D, and technical is 2D, and space transports repair is 5D. So it does excel at space transports repair. And like I had said, it's very clumsy, so our dexterity is 1. Um, Not the most knowledgeable and all that, with the knowledge being a 1D. So all this does make sense with the write up that we had seen. Um, Looking at what it has equipped, it does have the three wheeled legs. One is retractable, which is a standard feature that we will see with all of the R series. We do have the heavy grasper arm, which we did see in Empire Strikes Back from R2. Um, Three medium arms, which are all retractable, having one a welder, two, let's see, the laser welder, which does 5D damage if you used it for that. We do have the buzz saw, and of course the heavy grasper arm. Let's see. Let's see. The buzzsaw would do 5D worth of damage. The video display screen is also listed on here, as well as the armored hull, giving a +1 to strength to resist damage. So if you're shooting at it, it's going to have a strength of 3D. Has a move of 4. So again, remember our galactic standard for most beings would be a 10. So this is less than half of your standard move. It is 2.2 meters tall. So it is fairly tall. Cost is coming in at 2,500 used, or if you were able to buy it brand new, it would be 3,500. And this comes from Cinnabar's Fantastic Technology Droids Arms and Equipment Guide, as well had it on page 46. So that's what we have here. I do want to kind of note a couple little things when we look at the wonderful drawing here. Um, because Ralph McQuarrie had originally drawn R2. And that same concept was also rolled into what we get for Chopper. Okay, so he's a C10 astromech droid. Um, so we do have an arm coming out of the dome area, so it can swing the head around and try and repair things, as well as having a small radar dish on the top. So these are designs that Ralph McQuarrie had done and have been kind of brought into the Star Wars galaxy through, say, Chopper, as well as the P2 astromech prototype, which is fun to see. And it does give us a little extra flavoring in the droids. And this is the things that I really do enjoy about getting like the Lego droids, and even in the collecting the 6-inch line. I wish we had more variations of different droids because they're fun. They're just supporting characters and stuff like that, but they are fun to have around. So good companions to go with your standard uh, characters. So with that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's always wonderful having you here. I hope you're doing fine, and I will see you in the next video.